Hello and welcome to the Small Print Podcast with your host Elise, and I blog at roulettereader.wordpress.com.
I'm Dawn and I blog at bangbangbookblog.com.
And today we are going to be discussing two things. We're going to be doing a recap of a podcast that we did earlier this year, or was it last year at this time?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Sometime last year we did what we were looking forward to in 2016. We're going to recap what we actually did read from that list and whether or not we liked them. And then we're going to move into our most anticipated reads of 2017. Let's get started. So I'll do one of mine first. Well, my list was this. I was excited about Three Vicious Masks, Star Touch Queen, Saving Kurt Cobain, The First Time She Drowned, Rebel of Sands, Into the Dim, Exit Pursued by a Bear. I don't know what that says. I can't read your handwriting. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. That's the subject. The Raven King and The Winner's Kiss. You can read yours.
I was anticipating Assassin's Heart, Down with the Shine, Passion of Dulce, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Gathering of Shadows, Raven King, Winner's Kiss, The Last Star, and The Midnight Star, which I didn't originally say, but I was anticipating it.
I read most of the books off of this list, which I was very surprised because due to a fact that I was on a committee this year, I kind of haven't been keeping up with current books as much as I would prefer to. I did not read Three Vicious Masks, The First Time She Drowned, or Rebel of Sands, or Into the Dim. So 4 books out of the list I didn't read. I did read Star Touch Queen, gave it a 5 stars, absolutely loved this book. This was probably one of my favorites of 2016. If you are a fantasy fan, if you like epic, sweeping world building, if you like lyrical writing, this book is for you. I absolutely fell in love with it. And Saving Kurt Cobain was good. It was a contemporary novel. I think I gave it 4 stars. There were some things about the plot that bothered me, but the character development was good. I like that she extrapolated on the mystery surrounding Kurt Cobain's death. Exit Pursued by a Bear was also one of my favorite books this year. It's about a rape victim, but it's not. That's what I'll just say, in case you haven't read that book yet. The Raven King was probably the biggest disappointment to me this year. Both of the series enders, to me, were disappointments this year. The Winner's Curse trilogy has been one of my favorite trilogies, but the book was not what I would have preferred. It was a lot of military discussion, and that's not something that I was interested in, so I had a problem keeping up with the book and really, honestly, caring about it. And then The Raven King, if you want to know my opinions about The Raven King, you can just listen to our podcast that we did about the book. So that's all I'll say about those.
All right. I read Assassin's Heart. I read most of the only book I did not read was The Last Star. Assassin's Heart was terrible. Sorry if you liked it.
No, it was really bad.
It was bad.
It was bad.
And I read Down with the Shine by Kate Karras Quinn, and that was not good either. That one, it's about this girl who lives in Louisiana, and her uncles make moonshine, they're also fairy godfathers, and so she kind of has that gene as well, where she can grant wishes. And so she took some of the moonshine to this party, and because she wanted this guy to like her, but before that, her best friend was murdered, and her best friend was able to come back to life because somebody wished her back. So she's got her best friend back, and the girl is basically comatose in the back of the car, and she's preoccupied with this guy that she's handcuffed to, and her best friend's just gone missing, and she could give a crap.
Like that episode of Stranger Things with Barb.
Oh, with Barb.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad though, but kinda. But I mean, Barb wasn't brought back from the dead.
Either way, it's shitty. You don't do that.
No. So yeah, that was a disappointment. A Court of Mist and Fury was fine. I mean, because if you compare it to Queen of Shadows, I feel like A Court of Mist and Fury is fluffy, whereas Queen of Shadows is it's got more themes and
it's more intense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a deeper read. I just feel like Mist and Fury is just fluffy.
I just checked that out, so I haven't even read that yet.
You haven't read Mist and Fury?
I have not.
Okay.
Court of Mist and Fury. It's at my house. Just checked it out yesterday. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a little fluffy. Winter's Kiss, I was satisfied with the ending. I do agree that it did have a lot of political strategery, as Bush says. Um, but it was fine. I liked the end of the Raven King, but that was because I had to take into account of the other three books before it was so good. So there were some things about it that I didn't like, but it wasn't a big deal breaker for me. I think I give it a 5. The Last Star, I watched the movie, the Fifth Wave movie, and I was like, mm-mm.
Oh, you
so
did?
I decided to not read that book. That movie was really bad.
Yikes.
Really bad.
That's, wow. Yeah.
And Midnight Star, which was book 3 to Young Elites, I gave it a 3.5. I felt like Marie Lude. In fairness, well, I guess I don't know if this is in fairness to her, but I read Crooked Kingdom before it, and that's really good. The writing is really strong. The character development is fantastic, and in this book, the character development was just not
That's
there.
so sad.
Yeah, it was. I should not have read it right after Crooked Kingdom. I should have put other books in between it, but I was a little disappointed in that book. So otherwise, I feel like 2015 had better books than 2016.
I agree. I don't think 2016 was the strongest year for books. Of course, this is just an opinion.
Yeah.
If there is anything on this list that you think that we should have really included in our anticipated, tweet us, because, I mean, you've probably read it, but I was slacking on this year's 2016 reads. I don't know. I didn't feel like there was a lot that I was excited about. Like, I feel like these lists that we have are very short compared to...
We only went to May.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We planned on recording a second podcast where we did from, like, June to the end of the year, but we just never got around to it.
Yeah, I think we forgot. I read some of the stuff on your list, too. So I read Rebel Sands. I think I'm in the minority. I did not like that book at all. But I want to say it got on Goodreads, like, best book of the year. It's been on several best books. I want to say Publishers Weekly had it on there. I personally did not enjoy it at all. Into the Dim, I also did not enjoy. And I didn't like Star Touched Queen. Elise loved it. I didn't, but the other ones I did not read. It's just Mass sat on my to read list, and then I kept hearing that it was great, and then I would hear it wasn't great, so I was just like, pass on that. All right. So now we're going to go into what we're looking forward to in 2017. And we'll start with debuts.
Okay. So we've broken it up by subject. Debuts, standalone novels, series beginners, and books 2 and 3 of series. All right, debut. My first debut is called The Book Jumper by Mechtilde Glaser. I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing this first name. German is not my language. Anyway, so this is she has published a book before, but this is her, like, English debut. Her book, The Book Jumper, is not originally published in English. It's about a girl, obviously, who can jump into books and experience the plots of the books in real life, if you will. That sounds like a concept that I am all about. So
I have the art, and for some reason it looks, maybe it's just the cover.
It does look younger. It does look young. Can I see it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it'll say the age of the girl on the cover is definitely a teen, and she's, like, stepping up out of a book, and she's looking back at a prince, and that kind of seems like a theme that's a little bit older to me. So I don't think this is middle grade. This is definitely a teen novel, but it happens overseas, in Scotland, so that's something that's really interesting to me as well. Yeah.
All right. My first one is Poison's Kiss by Brianna Shields, and it's got a cool cover. It's the cover with the green snake on it, and I have kind of read something similar to it. It's about a girl who can kill you with a kiss. But of course, she has to kiss the boy that she loves. Oh my god. And it's usually, like, they really do not have this power. It's just the government telling them that they do. I've read this several times.
The government tells these teens?
Well,
what the hell?
The powers that be are like using them, but they
Why
really
does the government
because
care?
they're using them to make people fear them.
Okay.
The powers that be.
This is bizarre.
Yeah, I read 2 books. They weren't kissers; they were just touchers. If you get touched.
This year?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, okay.
And it's always really not really their power. So hopefully this does not go that way, because I'll be very sad.
Yeah. My next debut is called A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. This is a contemporary realistic fiction, mental illness kind of themed book. It's about a boy named Adam who has ADHD, and he's taken out of class and put with a school psychologist because he's not really able to focus. He's having a lot of problems. And as a project, she asks him to track down a former student that she has lost contact with to kind of see what is going on in his life and hopefully reach out to him again. And then Adam finds out that this student is a foster brother that he used to live with, and he hasn't seen him in 5 years, and there's a lot of drama, and Adam knows that Julian is keeping a lot of secrets, and I want to know what those secrets are. It just sounds very different to me.
Doesn't sound like something you would read.
No, it doesn't. But
I'm
we got this.
Shocked by that.
I know. We got this in an ARC box about a month ago. Maybe not quite a month ago. We got it recently, and I don't know. It's sat on my desk, and I'm gonna read it.
All right. My last debut is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. It's about a girl who has to. I think she makes herself get kidnapped by the opposing pirate ship to steal the booty or whatever.
I love the tagline for that book.
What is it?
When you need something done, do it yourself. Like, that's pretty much... Okay. That is already good character development to me. Like, we already know that she's a sassy broad.
So, I'm not usually into the pirate books, but it sounds interesting. I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Standalones?
Right.
Well, my first standalone is Daughter of the Pirate King.
I doubt that's a standalone.
That it didn't have anything after it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Because that's why I asked you. Remember, I was like, this doesn't seem right to me.
Oh.
But it didn't. It doesn't. As of right now, again, this is a debut author. It might be a Ember in the Ashes type situation where they're not sure how the book's going to do and therefore not going to announce that it's a trilogy. So for right now, it is a standalone. Daughter of the Pirate King. I'm all about the pirates, so I'm ready for that book.
My first one is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Everyone's probably gonna die, and there's probably some LGBTQs up in there, and I think his book after that, which is also being published in 2017, is Everyone Dies in the End. I think that's the name of the book. So, yeah.
My next standalone is Jennifer Mathieu's new book. I love her. Her contemporary realistic fiction is like everything that I've ever asked for in realistic contemporary fiction. It's realistic. It's not happy-go-lucky. It's very dark. But she always writes about a subject that our society should be talking about. Her book, Devoted, which came out this year, was amazing. But this one is called Afterward. It's about a girl whose little brother is kidnapped, and in her search to find him, she comes across another individual named Ethan who has been living with his kidnapper since he was a child. So it's really intense, lots of drama, and traumatic experiences.
Do I have that book?
I haven't seen it.
I feel like I got that book. Through. Okay.
I'm surprised. Because we always get her arcs.
Yeah. My next one is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli, and she wrote Simon versus Homo Sapiens Agenda.
I need to make a note here.
So
I am an idiot, apparently. and it seems that Afterward is already published.
That's what I'm like. I feel
what
like
in the
I
heck
saw
is going on
the hardback of that book
list?
on my bookshelf.
Well, then I will get on reading that right away.
Okay.
That came out in September. What have I been doing? Yikes. See, this is what I'm saying. This committee has held me back.
Yeah. This is her second book. I really like Simon, so I'm excited for the next book.
My next standalone, again, this is a standalone as of right now. This is Bad Blood by Demetria Lunetta. Every time I say this book title, I am trying not to sing Taylor Swift's song in my head. It's your typical, standard run-of-the-mill Demetria Lunetta. It's fantasy, post-apocalyptic. I think this one's vampires. I should have looked this up before, but it sounds good. I like her books. She's a strong writer. She's very underrated. So.
My next one is Fall Boys and Dizzy in Paradise by Jandy Nelson, and she wrote, what's it called?
I'll Give You the Sun.
I'll Give You the Sun.
Yeah.
Which won the Prince a couple years ago. She's a very, very good writer. So if you have not read any of her books and you like contemporary, highly, highly recommend you read her books. I don't know what it's about, so.
Yeah, that's okay. My next standalone is Goodbye Days by Jeff Zentner. I did not read The Serpent King, so I would like to read the second book of his. It's about a boy, Carver, a guy, teen, whatever. Carver, he sends a text to friends, and that text subsequently kind of causes them to get in a car accident, and they die. And his grandmother, the grandmother of the deceased, rather, asks Carver to sort of, like, remember her grandson, I think for the funeral or something. But it's kind of like his exploration into their friendship, and it just sounds good.
Yeah. Never mind. We met Jeff. Elise had not read Serpent King. We met Jeff at a author thing. I think you were indifferent. You were just like, meh. About him, not about the book. Just like, because you didn't read the book, so you're just like,
Sure.
Whatever.
I did not go to the conference, like, to meet him, because
I did.
We had Skyped with him. Well, obviously. We had Skyped with him, and he's a funny guy. He's very entertaining, really knows how to, like, speak to a crowd of people. And even without reading the book, by the end of this 2-day conference, I was, like, obsessed with him because he's so funny. He wears a kerchief around his neck, which is amazing. And I don't know, he just has that, like, perfect mix of, like, amazing gentleman and southern charm. So I definitely want to give this next book a try. But I didn't read The Serpent King for very personal reasons. So, yeah. Maybe one day I'll get to it, but I haven't yet.
That is also on my list, Goodbye Days.
Yes.
I actually didn't even know what it was about, but I like Jeff.
Again, yeah.
So, I'm enjoying his... You follow him on Twitter, right?
I do.
And Instagram. So, for some reason, I don't know if it's him eating these Dove chocolates or his wife. I feel like Dove is like a woman's chocolate. I hate chocolates that have to have an inspirational saying. Really?
I
Do
know.
men's chocolates have inspirational sayings?
Not.
No,
I mean,
it's so lame. But anyway, he like tweets the messages
saw
on
that.
and then he's just
and
like,
some of them are so bad. He tweeted one the other day that was like, never apologize. And he's like, bad advice 101 or something like that.
That's why I said it's like
really
women's
funny.
chocolate. Because
Yeah.
it's like, don't apologize, ladies. It's so stupid.
It doesn't say ladies, but you
it's,
know.
Oh, the commercials are women eating these chocolates after a hard day of work. So, women apparently need inspirational
Oh my God.
sayings in their chocolates. Anyway.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah, he's like the one author you definitely want to be following on social media because he will entertain you to no end. So that's our little We Love Jeff Zentner blurb of the day.
My last standalone is Dreamland Burning by...
Oh, God. We gave that book away at the school.
No, I have it at home. Latham is her last name? Jennifer. And it's about a girl. It's in the South during Civil Rights Movement, and she lived in the house. And then it's contemporary. It switches back and forth perspectives. And there's a white boy who lives in the house now, and I think he's seeing her as the ghost.
I think it's flip-flopped.
Did I do
I
that
think
wrong?
she's seeing him as the ghost because
my bad.
His picture is old.
So she is black, and she lives in the now, and he lived back in the 60s? 50s? 40s?
No, like the 18 somethings.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1921.
Okay.
It's about the Tulsa race riot, so I guess she's going to be able to, like, pop in and see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah. So I usually don't read books about race relations because it's just not entertaining to me. As a black person, I don't find it entertaining. But I'll give it a go. It seems interesting.
It does, yeah. That is all that I have for standalones. Let's move on to new series beginners. The first one that I have is one that I heard about a while ago, and I'm so glad that it's now available to read. This is Roseblood by A.G. Howard. She wrote the Splintered series, which was good. Again, I love she's kind of an author that likes to retell and reimagine classical pieces of literature. So Splintered was Alice in Wonderland, and Roseblood is Phantom of the Opera, which is pretty much my favorite thing ever. So I will be reading that series.
Aren't you reading it now?
I have currently downloaded it. Yes, I am halfway through. I will reserve my opinions.
My first new series is Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I was not a fan of The Divergent. I only read the first one.
I'm not into that woman.
I know. But I have heard very good things. I think she has amazing world building. She's a very good storyteller. I just read Hunger Games. I was all up in dystopian, and I think I just dystopian myself to death by the time I got to Divergent. I agree. I was just over it. So I want to give her a shot.
Yeah. Well, you read it, and if you like it, then I'll read it.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's about?
No.
Oh, okay. I would have liked a little bit of information about that. Come on, man, you gotta sell the book.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. My next book is Wicked Like a Wildflower by Lana Popovich. This book kind of sounds like a folk fairy tale retelling, but I cannot find information as to whether or not it is. It's about a group of sisters who can gleam, which is a new word in YA fantasy.
Gleam or gleam?
Gleam. Gleam. It's where you can, it was in Labyrinth Lost, that one of the girls who can, like, manipulate physical things to make them more beautiful.
Oh.
But in this world, it's more intense and more serious, and their mother, like, does not want them to share their powers with anyone, so therefore they cannot fall in love, and of course one of the sisters wants to be her own person, and so she kind of strikes out, but that causes danger for them when a, like, woman who's kind of described as a white-haired old woman, aka a witch, like, comes to descend upon them, and trouble ensues, and it just sounds like a really interesting, magical, realist situation.
I like the name.
I do too. The cover's cool too.
My next one is X-Files Origins by Cami Garcia. I think they're going to be switching authors. So Cami Garcia is authoring one, and then Jonathan Marbury, which I've never read any of his stuff, is authoring one. And I did not watch the X-Files growing up. I binged it last year. It took me 6 months because it's like 10 seasons. It's a lot. It's a lot of TV. But I freaking loved it. Mulder is sexy as hell. He's kind of old and crappy now, but
back in the day.
Back in the day. And I love Scully. I liked her character and the way she was portrayed, especially in the 90s, to have a woman be... They did not sexualize her. She was very intelligent, and everybody took her seriously. She wasn't a woman. She was a FBI agent. So it's a great series. I did like Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia. The movie was terrible, but the book is really good. So I'm kind of excited to... This is about them as teenagers, I think.
Nice. I only have one more series beginner as of right now. This is called Gilded Cage by Vic James.
I have that one too.
Is this... I cannot tell you what
There's two books called Gilded... Is there another book called Gilded Cage?
It's called The Gilded Cage. By Lucinda Gray, and that's not the one that I'm referring to.
Is that the one with the brown girl?
Yeah, I've got. No, it's not a brown girl. Brown girl? What'd you say?
A brown girl.
No, it's right there, Dawn. I've got it right there.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Iron Cast. Don't ask me why.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is a fantasy novel. This description is too long. If you want to know what it's about, go look it up on Goodreads. But it just...
That's terrible.
I've been hearing really good things. It already has 272 ratings, and it's got 4.36 on Goodreads. This comes out February 14th.
Ooh.
So that's pretty strong so far. Yeah. All right. Typical YA fantasy.
I also have that.
Yeah.
On my... Is it Vic? Is that a woman?
It is a woman.
It sounds like Rick James.
That's what I know, and sometimes Vic is a guy's name.
Yeah.
But she's British. She's from Notting Hill. She studied history and English at Oxford, so it's probably going to be a good book.
My next one is Warcross by Marie Lu. I enjoy Marie Lu. I think she's a really good world builder. So I will give this a try, even though I did not enjoy the last book in the Young Elites. And I also have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I believe this is her second series, only her second series, because Shadow and Bone, Smoke and Bone, Smoke and Bone, Smoke and Bone. was, I believe, her debut, and I did not get to the last book. Those books are thick as hell.
Yeah, they are.
I don't have time for all that. I mean, this year I had to get through Beauty of Darkness, 600 pages.
Oh my god.
Crooked Kingdom was 500 pages. Queen of Shadows was 30 million pages. It's like, I can't. With
Do you
these
mean
books.
Empire of Storms?
Empire of
keep-
Storms. I still do that. Empire of Storms, my bad.
It's because Queen of Shadows was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that book, I saw that third book in Smoke and Bone, and I was like,
You know what's crazy? Neither of us had Empire of Storms on our anticipated 2016. Oh, that might have been again because it was post-May.
Yeah.
God, we sucked. Okay.
I do not know what Stranger Dreamer is about, but whatever, I'm gonna read it. And I want to read, the last one on this list is Bone Witch by Ren Chupeco. Chupeco? It doesn't have a good rating on Goodreads, though. But
with
I
her
like
books,
the
though, you
title.
either like them or you don't. Like, her books are popular.
Yeah, because it's horror and teens love horror. And
Mhm.
I did not enjoy her first book. It was okay. It kind of like, it didn't end well. She kind of lost steam. And I feel like this is a reoccurring thing for her. She kind of loses steam. But I don't know. The cover is cool. The name is cool. And I like witches. So that's all I have for new series.
All right, let's move to books 2 and 3 / series finishers. Obviously, my first on the list is book 2 in Roshani Chowksh's Star Touch Queen
God.
series. This is called
That's
The Crown of
nice.
Wishes. Huh?
The Crown of Bushes?
If you would not have spoken over me. A Crown of Wishes. I am chomping on the bit on this one, as she just announced that it's available for download, so that's what I will be doing today. I loved this series. I loved the main character. I loved her love interest, which is weird. This is a romance series. There is a lot more going on, but at the heart of it, what drives the plot is romance, which is not something I typically enjoy reading.
Didn't the first book have an ending? Did it have an ending?
Kind of, but not really.
Okay.
Shit goes down at the end.
Okay.
So yes, it ends, but it was a cliffhanger. It, like, really needs resolution. And I'm not sure if this is a series or if this is just a duology. But yeah, that's my first.
My first one is The Great Pursuit, which is book 2 of The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins. I think I am the only person who liked this book. It is a retelling of the Grimm story. I forgot.
There's many. The
I
Great
know.
Escape?
No.
Hansel and Gretel?
Something about a bear that kills people in the town.
I have no idea.
I can't remember. Anyway, I liked it. It's fantasy. There's a bear that's killing the people, and so they have to find someone to kill it, or otherwise it'll just tear through the whole town. And they round up the poor people, if you will, to go in, or the strongest men in the town, and those usually are the what are those people called? The laborers.
Oh my god.
I'm terrible with
You
words.
are shrooting this description.
Anyway, the
I'm sitting
laborers.
here like, what the hell is this book about?
And so of course one of the laborers is a hot guy, and the queen, the princess, hey.
She's got the hots.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my first one.
Well, sorry about that, Wendy Higgins. Ooh.
Whatever, you told them to go look up on Goodreads.
All right, book 2, or second book in my books 2 and 3. I know you're gonna disagree with me. Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I'm gonna give this series one more chance. One more chance. And that's this one. And if I still don't like it, I'm not gonna finish the series. So that's all I'll say about that.
Alright. My last one is The Cursed Queen by Sarah Fine. That is book 2 in the Imposter Queen series. I don't like that cover.
I don't either.
Her
It looks
hair
hokey.
is jacked up.
It looks
What is that all about?
It looks extraordinarily hokey. I
Do
don't
you
know.
want to talk about Imposter Queen? Because I can't.
That was also on my list. I also have that book. I enjoyed the first book. It's about a girl who has been raised to believe that she is the next queen in the line of queens who have this magical power. But the problem with it is that they burn out really quickly and they die. So most of her life is spent ruling, but also training the apprentice. But then when her day comes, she realizes she does not have this magical power. So she is kicked out and runs away, and then she discovers the truth about herself. So this is book 2 in that where we
it's
left
a
off.
duology.
I think that's appropriate.
Sarah Fine only writes duology.
Yeah.
She doesn't do book 3.
That's appropriate. I think we got a lot of information in the first book. It's
Mhm.
a really strong book, I thought. I think we're kind of in the minority, though. I haven't heard a lot about the series, which is unfortunate. Sarah Fine is one of those authors. She's strong. She's right there in the middle of, the popular authors, but her books don't get a lot of hype for some reason. But
Yeah,
I thought,
shame.
the book had really good plot. It had really strong character building, and plot twists.
I think a lot of it is the publisher. If the
Yeah, I
publisher is
agree.
not behind it, then no one's going to find it.
And
I think that's a shame.
unfortunate. Yeah, that really is. But that's where we step in.
Yeah, exactly.
We carry the torch. So we're carrying the torch for Sarah Fine's series here. And that is all.
That's all I have.
That's all we have.
So thank you for joining us for our what we're looking for. We're 2 in 2017. If you want to comment to let us know what you're looking forward to, let us know. And we'll catch you on the flip side.